Well, in this video, we're going to discuss the competitive environment. The competitive environment, of course, is one of the dimensions or elements of the external business environment. And of course, we know that we can't unfortunately control this, but we do study it with the attempt to manipulate or at least change our actions for the purpose of positioning ourselves to leverage certain opportunities as well as insulate ourselves against certain threats. So first, what is the competitive environment? The competitive environment really encompasses the actions of competitors and really how those impact business. And every business, regardless of the industry it's in, regardless of the types of products or services that it offers, has some form of competition. This might be direct competition where they compete in a similar industry, or this could be indirect competition where they serve similar needs. For example, with regards to transportation, airlines and the railroads are indirect competitors because although they don't compete in the same particular industry, obviously if you book a flight somewhere, you're not going to be taking the train. And so they are indirect competitors because they fulfill the same basic need. And so in the competitive environment, we focus on studying what our competitors are doing for the purpose of positioning ourselves so that we can be more successful in the marketplace. And there's been a lot of activity with regards to the competitive environment arena that can serve as examples. Just recently, we've seen a lot of activity with some very, very notable companies. Companies like, for example, Google. And Google is in a very, very significant battle right now with Apple. And Google, as you know, acquired Motorola Mobility for $12.5 billion in, I believe, 2010, possibly 2011, for the purpose of manufacturing handsets, things like smartphones and tablet computers, and trying to control the software piece, obviously with search and with applications, but also trying to control the hardware piece so they can dictate what type of software they can put in the devices. Apple obviously has taken some steps to kind of protect itself, if you will, from Google, and has done things like installing its own search capabilities, has removed the Google Maps application entirely as the default application for the iPhone and the iPad. And those are things that are constantly pitting one another against each other. They're kind of encroaching on one another's turf because Apple is getting a little more involved in the advertising and search type business with Siri and those different types of things. And obviously Google is getting more involved with hardware. Another example of a couple of companies that really do evaluate one another on a very frequent basis is Amazon, which we all know. Amazon, of course, started by simply just selling physical books and since has ballooned to selling pretty much everything you can possibly imagine. And Amazon is in a very, very big battle right now with Walmart. And one of the big things that you may have seen is Amazon has begun piloting in sometime in 2012 a same-day delivery service. It was actually one of the big reasons why they were such a proponent of sales tax for online purchases because they can establish physical distributions in certain states, obviously, that they couldn't originally to get around that. And offering a same-day service, if you order by a certain point in time, you can essentially get whatever it is that you ordered at your door the same day, later that afternoon. And so Walmart, of course, not to be outdone, announced that it was piloting a very similar service, kind of a same-day delivery type service, because once again, it's very in tune to what its competitors are doing because they don't necessarily want to be left in the dust, so to speak. They want to make sure and they stay relevant. They don't want competitors to gain some type of advantage because obviously that can pose as a significant threat to them if Amazon is now gaining increasing market share. That can pose a very significant threat for Walmart, of course. So those are just a few examples of some of the things or some different instances that we've seen where competitors' actions can pose threats, of course. Well, that concludes this brief discussion of the competitive environment. Hopefully you found that to be useful to improve your understanding of some of the different dynamics that are involved. Thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time.